Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the T92 Hmc. It's the Tier 10 American SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka and it's under the command of CL1CKER. Game on. Well, we finally found an Arty that CL1CKER doesn't have a tree mark on. Yes, it's this one, the T92. They only made 5 of these and only one actually remains apparently at the Detroit Arsenal where they make all the weapons. Well, what can you say? Biggest gun in the game. Yeah, I know people say that the Heshbon or the Death Star actually have the biggest gun in the game, but they're a high-speed gun for shooting at targets, whereas this is a howitzer. This is a 24-centimeter howitzer, and it's capable of doing 1100 alpha, 60 millimeters of pen, and it's got a 12.4 meters burst radius and between 14 and 35 seconds of stun. So it's a big gun, very big gun indeed. Rounds out. Well, he hits the Wizzy 111-14 for the first shot for 422, and he's repositioning straight away. I noticed he saw that AMX and he came straight into the aim again because, of course, he was a bit concerned that that guy might spot him once he's on the move. And it's a wise decision, even though he's actually got a very long reload time. Standard reload, 46.98 seconds. You can see here he's got a reload of 38.05. It does take a little while to dial in. It actually has a massive crew. But the real Arty actually did have not only a crew of, well, a crew of 8, the fact is that they actually had trucks to carry around all the equipment and the shells because they were just too heavy. You couldn't mount them on the actual Arty. That's why it got the name Big King Kong or the nuclear Arty, even though it actually didn't fire nuclear shells. It was Nuclear Annie. But this one, with the 24 centimeter, it was actually designed for Operation Downfall, which was the invasion of Japan. In fact, there was 2 operations for the capture of Japan, the conquering. One was Operation Olympic, the other one was Operation Downfall, and they were different stages of the same invasion. Now, they actually anticipated they were going to have more of these available. And although they did have the chassis to carry the gun, they didn't have the guns themselves. They were taking some time to develop. Another direct hit. So what they did instead is they mounted 8-inch howitzers on some of them and turned them into what they call the T93. The hull is basically a Pershing tank. That's what it is. It's been redesigned. It's basically the same tank as the T26E3, which is in the game, and you might know it as the Eagle 7, the tank that actually had the duel with the Panther in Cologne. Okay, ready to go, and he's loaded. Just got to dial in. This guy's taken the shell before, so he should have learnt the lesson by now, but he's still camping, and Arty prevents camping. If he appears on the same spot, he deserves a spanking. Already racked up 883. Oh, okay, we've decided. We had a quick look at the 121, but no. That's the thing. If you hold down the right-hand mouse button, you can have a look elsewhere to see exactly, is there an easy shot on the enemy elsewhere? He's not getting anywhere with that, so he's actually gone down to a different spot, having a look elsewhere, and he's decided this corner, which I think is correct, because there is an enemy tank down there at the base, and the M103 is going after him. If we stunned the enemy target, then the M103 would have an easier shot. There it is, 60 TP. But he's switching to try and find the best target. You can see that 60 TP is already stunned. Okay, Progetto, 66. Rounds out. Direct hit. Another good shot, 452 from that one. Instead of actually moving forward, he's actually backing into the corner. Nicely done. Well, the 60 TP is now being absolutely hammered because all the guys come down the hill and they're all having a go at him. And in fact, he's still there, I believe, still putting up a fight. But no, I think he's gone now. Is he gone? He has gone now. That's it. The M103 got him in the end. Unfortunately, we did lose a few tanks in the process. And now we're looking at the railway line because that Progetto's still there. Now, it's one of the few tanks that doesn't have enough shells, like the Object 261. It should have more. It only has 16 shells. That's something to complain about, really, because if you want parity between the Arty, you really should give them enough shells so they can keep firing all game long. But the T92 Hmc is one of those that actually could run out of shells if you keep firing them at the fastest rate possible. In fact, if you see one of my videos, I actually do run out of shells in the game, and all I can do is force a draw on the enemy simply by not being available to kill. Well, he's got another hit, and he got stun assist this time. But we're kind of being pressured into the top half of the map. So he's decided to move a bit further over to the corner. And that's actually quite a smart move. There's loads of space to move in and relocate this Model 11114. We've hit him before. We're not loaded yet. He's trying to get into that tree line. Okay, wait until we see the target. Okay, we might have to look at the north end of the railway track now. Yeah, there's a couple of interlopers turned up. The 752 and the 113 Beijing Opera. Oh, actually, the Beijing Opera is one of ours. Sorry. The 752 is the interloper. Rounds out. Well, it stunned him. Unfortunately, our Beijing Opera didn't survive. Now we're truly being backed into the corner now. He's looking around for a target, something he can shoot at. I always do this as well. Whilst I'm waiting for the shell to load, it's furious target selection to try and find what's going to be the next one. As soon as I'm loaded, the shell goes out the barrel. No, nothing in sight on the West Road. That 121B pulled back very quickly. Our teammates are actually indicating him. I think that might be. Is it the AMX who's saying that? It's actually the Patton who's actually saying that. E3. Rounds out. Yep. That's a hit, 494. Yeah, we're right up against the edge of the map now. Can't go any further. He's still stunned, the E4, or the E3 rather. He doesn't care. He's just moving on. And it looks like, yeah, we got a load of stun assist there. 630. It may have been the Foch rather than the M53, M55. I can't tell exactly if it was. But we're almost loaded. Rounds out. Direct hit. Right on the money. Okay, doesn't feel the need to relocate at the moment. The enemy RT is a GW Tiger. He hasn't been trying to get us. They lost their Conqueror gun carriage. Again, we're still being pressured into this corner. But the good news is they are picking up damage. These guys are going to go down. So next shell is going on the E3 again. Okay, he's a hard learner, this one. Rounds out. Another direct hit. He's almost a one-shot now. Now, coming in from the east is the Object 752. Rather cheeky, actually, and that E50, I think, may make him regret that. But so can we, although we're still a few seconds away from shooting. He's almost up to the ridgeline there. Now, he might spot us, but you notice that CL1CKER's actually put us in a bush to actually give us a bit more cover. We're in the actual tree line itself. Rounds out. Good direct hit. 347. We weren't spotted. And a nice amount of stun, but he has to use his first aid kit to get rid of it. Otherwise, he can't play. And the enemy are now starting to suffer in the south. That was the AMX 13105, just taking out their Kunstpanzer. And that means that they've got several tanks out of position. There's a 590 somewhere, a Strip 103, 0, not the 103B. And of course, their GW Tiger. We don't know where he is. There's the GW. We do know where he is now. Oh! And the AMX 13105 who found him, finished him. Yep, it's definitely turning in our favour. Now, if that 752 makes an appearance, we're ready for him. Normal thing to do under these circumstances, aim for the area where you last saw that tank, so that if he is in the same spot, he's going to take the hit. Now, somebody's around because the M53, M55 just took a hit. So I think that may be the the 752 or the 592 rather. There he is. Oh, it's actually the Strib. He moved. Oh no! That shell it hit the ground ahead of the target, so we didn't get a piece of the Strib. It would have been nice, but here comes the 752. Not 592. And thank goodness we're still in the bush. The AMX 13105 needs to return as quickly as possible. Although we can probably one-shot the 752 if we can get a direct hit, our E50 is having a bit of a trouble hiding from that 752. He's using the Rex for cover. And it's down to just 3 of us now on this team against 2 enemy. Yes! Good hit! Doesn't kill him though. Teaches him a lesson, stuns him, and the E50 gets the kill. Now, 590's coming in. We're still in reload, but the 13105's just a short distance away. There he is. He's probably loaded with 3 105mm main gun shells. And 590 takes a hit. So does the 13105. Come on, AMX, you can do it. We're not loaded yet. Yes, he does him! And that wins the game. And we're totally hidden in the bush. Well, that one was what I would call a fingernail biter because you didn't know which way it was going to go at the end. Yes, it was also an ace tanker game for CL1CKER in the T92 Hmc. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he managed to get 8. And he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And his win rate from that one, 2,942, which is Super Unicum just. So very close. Let's have a look at team score. He didn't get the highest damage in the game. No, that actually went to the 752 on the enemy team. He got a high caliber for 6,308 hit points of damage. Second highest damage was the Hori 1, who managed 5,441. And the third highest damage in the game actually went to the 590 on the enemy team, who picked up a Leather Slaves medal and 4,816. But we can see that CL1CKER managed to get 3,754. He was beaten by 3 members of the enemy team, 2 of his own, which means he's in 6th place when it comes to damage. When it came to kills, though, he didn't get any at all, so he's nowhere near the top. But the E50 managed a Top Gun. He got 6 kills in the game. 5 kills went to the 590 on the enemy team, and 4 kills went to their 752. And when it came to base XP, well, it's the E50 who came out on top. 1,198 went to him. Yes, he did a good job hiding from the shells of that 752, which could have finished him off. 1,184 went to the 13105, who also picked up a patrol duty in that game. and 1062 went to the Hori one. They were the only 3 players who managed to get over 1,000 base, but you can see here, CL1CKER was just behind them with 935 in 4th place. He fired 13 rounds, so he still had 3 rounds spare at the end of the game. He got 10 direct hits on the enemy. None of them penetrated, but he did get 15 splash. Damage of 3,754 hit points, of which 3,228 were up more than 300 meters. I think it was the 7.52 that he was firing at that was really close. In fact, almost within spotting distance, but because CL1CKER put the Arty into the bush, made it part of the tree line, there was no way the 7.52 was going to see him so long as there was all that foliage in the way. He damaged 7 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he did get 2,262 hit points of stun assists or 15 stuns, and the combined damage of those was actually just shy of 6,000 overall. And on a premium count, he actually made 26,053 credits profit. He got 5 bonds because it was tier 10 and 1,402 experience points to take away. So yes, nail biter, certainly, and you didn't know which way it was going to go. If he'd stayed out of the tree line, he almost certainly would have been wiped out. But he had the good sense to actually get into the right place at the right time of the game, and he gradually drifted over to the west side of the map and then parked himself in the bush to say, yeah, I'm not going to let the enemy get me. If the enemy had actually been coming up from the south, he might have been vulnerable because he could have been seen through the bush then if he was part of the tree line. But thankfully, the enemy was coming in from the right direction, and CL1CKER realized that, and all he had to do was protect himself from that 7.52. In actual fact, the 7.52 took 526 hit points of damage from CL1CKER in that game. Yes, he was doing rather well with his tank. So, I'm not going to leave you with just one CL1CKER game. I'm going to give you 2 CL1CKER games, yes, because he sent in another replay. And this battle took place at 9:30 in the evening yesterday. Yeah, I think that's right. Yesterday at 9:30. Yeah, we do get them out quickly sometimes. Well, CL1CKER just sent this over to me this afternoon. And we've got another battle that took place just a short while after this one. So feast your eyes on this one. And here's the second replay on the Abbey map, and we're on the North Spawn. Game on. So many places you can go on this particular map to fire from that provide great arcs of fire. Now, I do like the west side of the map for the ability to actually help your teammates going down the west side. The Hemi tanks really don't like it if they start getting struck by these large caliber shells coming down on top of them, and it makes them think twice about pushing in certain corridors. You can see that CL1CKER is actually going to try and get one of the enemy TDs. He's aiming for the hut that's right next door to the spawn area. And there's a Hesh Barn there. Rounds out. 468 hit points from his first shot. Now, if the Hesh Barn had been in position, he might have actually got a penetrating shot on the turret, and that might have yielded a full roll on the from penetrating shot. Now, you notice he has gone over to the west side, not to the dark side. Of course, if you're an Arty player, you're not the dark side, although they like to joke that we are the dark side of the game. We're not. We're actually the good guys. We support you. We try and help you win the game. Okay, we've got targets. And the Super Conqueror has gone up the west corridor. And there's a Conqueror in E5 on the other corridor, just a short distance away. Okay, Super Con, rounds out. Direct hit. Lovely shot. Okay, he's thinking about the E5 for the next one. Always a wise decision to keep moving, keep changing position between shots, because the enemy Arty in this game is also a T92 Hmc, and they may know how players tend to gravitate towards this side of the map, and he might send something this way. But look at this, they're bunching together, which makes it easy to hit 3 tanks with 1 round. In fact, one of them's gone down, but the other two are so close now. Rounds out. Well, he hit both of them. He got the E5 and the 60 TP with that shot. It's the stun more than anything that really puts them off, because they can't reload. And if they can't reload, our guys actually get a bonus, or they're actually getting more shots in. Better DPM. Super Conqueror's moved up. Cranvarn's joined him now. He's looking around at his targets, checking to see which one's the best one to go for. Almost loaded. Now, this is going to be a difficult shot because the Super Conqueror is not showing us much. He's gone to battle assistant. It looked like he got some splash from that. I'm pretty certain he got splash. Yeah, and he certainly got stun, and the stun's having an effect. This is where I normally use the T key to tell my teammates that's the one to hit for us, please. But look at these guys bunching up behind him as well. Again, that's going to give CLERker a fantastic shot on the follow-up. The more tanks he hits with each shot, the more likely he's going to get more or heavy damage on the enemy. And of course, it slows the enemy down. Two together. Oh, well, they parted before he was ready. And so unfortunately there, he only got a bit of stun. He didn't get huge damage. Quickly looking around the map to see what's next. These two are definitely the ones to go for. 4 tanks in the corridor. All the pressure he can put on these guys really does work. His teammates will love him. If he keeps the enemy stunned and they can't shoot at their tanks properly, they're the ones who end up getting loads and loads of damage on the enemy. Of course, they never recognize that, but it is Arty that's doing it for them. Rounds out. Yes! Hit 2 at the same time there. The E5s, both of them took hits. They got rid of their stun very, very quickly, but they suffered damage, and one of the E5s has definitely gone down, which means our side of the corridor, that inner side, is actually working and can now move. Notice on the minimap how our team are actually pushing the enemy south. Okay, so we've got 2 together. We've got a Heshbon. Okay, so this shell is going to be really, really nasty for the enemy. If we can get the Heshbon, it's going to go out the game. Rounds out. Oh, he got him! He wiped him out! Perfect! Absolutely perfect. The shell probably went right through the turret. I'd love to see the battle hit for that one, because I reckon a 24-centimeter shell went right through the turret and completely devastated him. Heshbon out of the game. Magnificent shot. This is true Arty play. This is what you want. You want a situation where you are really, really vital to your team and you can push the envelope. Fire out as many shells as you can. Rounds out. Landed a little way behind the E5, but it still stunned him. And that means he's vulnerable. You can see he's trying to use that rock for all he can. In fact, he's trying to use the wreck for all he can as well. Now that leopard just over to the left, he's very light armor. And a 24-centimeter shell should rip through him. We're still focusing on the E5. Seconds away from shooting. Maximize the effort. Lined up. Rounds out. Yep, that worked. 532 from that one. Looks like our team had these guys under control for the moment. We're trying to help them get rid of that E5. The E5's decided to pull out. So that means we can now help our teammates get these guys. Okay. Seconds away from getting it. We've got to be careful now because our IS-7 is really close and the Arty is firing on him, and it looks to me like the Arty is somewhere in the K2, K3 area. Rounds out. Yes! It did work. He got the stun. Can't see the leopard anymore. Our IS-7 is coming in. We've got an IS-7 coming in from the rear. and he might be able to get shots on the Leopard and the Batchat 25 ton, which are in that area. And we're moving because we've got a Sheridan of the enemy team coming in, and we might have to shotgun him. Well, we're going to shotgun mode. Lined him up. We're loaded. Yes! Oh, yes! Beautiful shotgun. No, you will not take the Arty. Well, he has to move now because the enemy Arty knows where he is. So he's changed his direction and he's now backing up. Oh, we've got this one. There's only 4 enemy left. 2 of them in the cap area. 1 behind the cap area, I think. And 1 up on the balcony. We can't see the E5 on the balcony yet, but the T57 Heavy's moving in. He's got plenty of health. And I don't think that E5 is going to survive very long. There's the Foch. He's having a quick look round. Can he get a shot in the Foch? Well, our Guerrilla's now in trouble. He gets wiped out by the Foch. Can we hit the Foch? Rounds out. Yes! 479 on the Foch. E5's in sight. He's on the balcony. And he's now being fired on. And we're going in. Now, it does make sense for him to move in because we've got that Bosch 155 in the Batchat on the run. They're the only 2 left. They might decide to come in our general direction or rather to go around the map, come up the lake road. And of course, we need to be where we can have the maximum effect. So he's now aiming for that corner of the map. Come on, guys. Want to have a shot? We're now capping, but I think that's only transitory. And they have gone up the road, so he did make the right decision. We've got a Leopard near the cap area. They have turned up. The Leopard didn't survive very long. Batchat got him. Can we get a shot in the Batchat? It looks like he's turning around, trying to defend. And there's the Foch. Foch's priority target. Line him up. Perfect. Get it right. And rounds out. Just a fraction of a second late, but it did get some damage. The Batchat's gone entirely defensive now. And the Foch, well, he's still stunned. We might get another shot on him. He's going to back up when he's reloading. He is doing that now already. We can also put a shell in where the Batchat 25 ton is. They've reset the cap a little. But the Batchat, well, he's coming out now. We're seconds away from shooting. Lining up the shot. Rounds out. Oh, he stopped. And I think they're going to cap. And that's it. They capped. And we've won with 2 enemies still alive. Here's the end of battle results. And that was another ace tanker game for CLERKER in the T92 Hmc. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 17. He got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And on top of that, he got a Confederate as well, for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate, 6,410 from that one, which is definitely super unicum. And I think you can probably see that this replay took place... Oh, actually, it's slightly before the other one. I got them mixed up. Oh, well. it was actually slightly before. So he had 2 replays in succession where he managed to get ace tankers and at least a Confederate, and in this one, a Gauss medal as well. Let's have a look at team score. Highest damage to 5,290 hit points in this one. The second highest damage in the game turned out to be the Foch 155 on the enemy team, 4,641, followed by their Batchat 25 ton. Yes, he managed to get 3,551 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, we can see that it was the Sheridan who actually got the most. He got 3 kills. But of course, when he met CL1CKER, he actually got nuked and taken out of the game very quickly. Second place actually goes to CL1CKER, the Wizzy 111 Model 5A, the T57 Heavy, who also picked up an Invader medal. He was one of the cappers. And also the Wizzy 111 Quillen and the IS-7 on their team. Only 2 players on the enemy team managed to get 2 kills, and that was the Foch 155 and the Batchat 25 ton. And when it came to base XP, he's actually in 3rd place because the T57 Heavy managed 1,049, 1,017 went to the Wizzy 111 Model 5A, and 970 went to CL1CKER in the end. He fired 14 rounds, so he only had 2 spare after this game. He got 6 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, which I think we can guess which one it was straight away, the FB4005. Let's have a quick look. Yes, he went straight through the turret and he did 1,643 hit points of damage with that shot. Yes, that was pretty efficient. He actually took out the Amarak, the track, and the track again. So yes, the Amarak I think was probably the part that he didn't get an Amarak in terms of demolition, but what he did do was just so much damage in such a short period of time that the Heshbon just couldn't survive. It was a high roll of the most extreme manner. So yes, he did get that hit and a great result. 18 splashes, 5,290 hit points of damage, of which 4,899 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see with just 14 shots, 18 splashes. Yes, he was hitting them more than one at a time. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were killed, 943 hit points of damage assist, 435 hit points of stun assist of 16 stuns. So the ace tanker actually came from the sheer amount of actual damage they did in that battle. He earned 29,549 credits profit from the game, and he got 7 bonds as well for being a tier 10, and 1,555 experience points as well. So 2 great games by CL1CKER, one after the other. I got them mixed up. It was my fault. Yes, I put them in the wrong order. But I think you'll agree that CL1CKER certainly is well on the way to getting 3 marks of excellence on the barrel, and it won't be long before he does it. If you enjoyed those replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.